Bizarre Brain Comics. The Dark Librarian. Oh, hello. Hello, my comic book fiends. And welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. And I am the Dark Librarian, your horror host. And I'm here to tell you tales of terror. Oh. And here is my partner, Mr. Bones. And he holds the terror tome we're going to discuss. Yes, and this terror tome will send tingles down to your tailbone. This is Grimm's Tales of Terror, Halloween special from 2020. It'll be demonic gods, evil gods, ooh, oh, evil people, oh, and death-dealing, slashing, blood-curdling and licking werewolves, or rookaroo, ah, yes. So, let us not dawdle in the dark reaches of the dungeon. Let us go now to delve into the depths of this terror tome. Here we are. And this is Grimm Tales of Terror. This is from, it was a quarterly magazine. This is a Halloween special. I would think any of them would be good for a Halloween special. This is from Zenescope Entertainment, which was created, and the title was created by Joe Busa and Ralph Tedesco, who I know very little about. They did the writing, had various artists, all of whom I've never heard of or know nothing about, did a very commendable job on this book. I think it has three stories, and they are all very well written. They have an interesting twist at the end. And this fortune teller is acting as our horror host. I don't know if she has a proper name or not. I take it she is the host for the title itself. All very, very well drawn. Excellent artwork. And the stories are so well written. And this, of the newer stuff that I have read recently, this is the best, the most newest horror anthology books. And I gather, now this is the only one I have ever seen that I know of. I may have seen some on the stands before and don't remember it, but this is I presume it's still in publication. It was a quarterly, was a quarterly magazine. They have, so there are many issues out there. I looked online, and some are reprinted in graphic novel form, graphic album. So they are available out there right now. And if you really like some of this spooky stuff that's not that expensive and as would be well worth getting for reading. I mean, it's a much better deal than the new EC stuff, the new Boris Karloff stuff, and that other Tales of the Bazaar and others that I've seen. It is head and shoulders above those. So here we go. This beautiful cover painted cover by I don't know who, but we'll get right into it. And it starts in the whole thing in Louisiana, Nolens, Louisiana. So we just see a series of cityscapes getting closer and closer down to street level. And while I've never been to Louisiana, I've seen a lot of stuff, pictures and shows and movies in Nolens. I said never been to. I've been through Louisiana, just never been to Nolens. And this street level stuff also reminds me of. Because at the time, well, I used to be stationed in Charleston, South Carolina, and there are parts of old Charlestown that look very, very much like this. And that's what I always said when I lived there. I said, it just reminds me of New Orleans, pictures that I've seen of New Orleans. So, relation. And of course, this fellow walking down the street, and he goes in, he's compelled to come into this fortune teller's shop. He walks in, she greets him, she knows who he is. He is lovely stuff, very lovely stuff. She sits him down and going to read him his tarot cards. And here we start. The tarot, and then go, Wheel of Fortune. This is his story. His name is Stevie. And I have to go back. And then this is Stevie's story. He's got no money, goes to, he's a drug addict, and he's out of money, no more money to buy his drugs, so somewhere he got a gun. He goes in to his dealer, shoots up the place, grabs a bunch of the drugs and takes off. But he didn't kill everybody. Someone comes out and blasts him, and he gets wounded in the shoulder. Oh, here it's his right shoulder. Oh, later it's his left shoulder. And he's racing, guns fired, and then he's got 2 kids in the back seat. What the heck? What's wrong with this fella? Smashes a car, rushes off into out into the countryside, into the bayou area, I guess. Oh, he's injured, and actually eventually smashes the car up, rams into a tree. The kids are apparently uninjured. They get out, but he's unconscious. Oh, Daddy, he's hurt. And the older of the 2 boys, he doesn't seem too concerned about Dad. The younger one is, even though we got to get someone to help him. But why does Daddy hurt us? And maybe this will make him stop hurting us. Maybe he'll like us, and all this other stuff. Then I have a flashback to in his trailer with the kids, and he's griping about not having any money. He's griping to his dealer, trying to get him some stuff, and then he's so angry. The kids are making noise. They have nothing in the house. But then we're back in the present. They find an old shack, but we see in the off to the side there is an ambulance there. He calls for help. Someone comes out and says, "Lawrence, get your gear." And it happens to be EMTs. They're EMTs. They get in the ambulance. He tells them where the kids tell him where it is. Then we have another flashback to when the kids, apparently Stevie's sister, was concerned for the kids, brought over some food, and says, "Oh, these kids, they're always hungry, and I don't have any money. I can't get a job, yada yada yada." So, well, you got to get off that stuff. So, well, this is all I can help you with. Then we're back in the present. They've pulled him out. He's injured. To get the stretcher and get him in the ambulance. All the kids are there talking. Says, "I sure wish Daddy would treat us better." Says, "Wishing is for babies, and wishes don't ever come true." So they get him there, but instead of taking him to a hospital or something, they take him home, to their home, and it opens up an outbuilding. There's a table there. It's like, and they get him on the table. They check him out. Oh, seeing where he was shot. I guess it still is his right shoulder. Okay. And they patch him up, bandage him up, apparently get the bullet out. And the kids are wandering around outside. And they have another flashback to when says, sometimes you got to pay for all the hurt you cause. And they're talking about Daddy because the older boy knows something that the younger boy doesn't. Come on. Where are we going? It's time for you to finally go someplace where they treat you good. And the kids are gone. And there was all... It's got him patched up. And then the guys are saying, well, he's going to be okay. I'll keep an eye on him. You go round up those boys. He goes out and can't find the boys anywhere. They're all gone. And Stevie's awake, says, you sure were damn lucky. What happened? You were in an accident, and from the looks of it, someone shot you. Where am I? How'd I get here? Said, your boys came screaming for help. Boys? Yeah, your boys were mighty worried about you. Roy went out and gathered them up. Lawrence, the boys ain't out here. So they both go out to go look for the boys. And said, wait, this doesn't make sense. What in the hell happened? And so they go out to go look for the boys. And then you pull away and you can see this bucket filled with body parts. Oh, and all this stuff here. It's a serial killer's lair. Oh, and then there's the older boy, Chris. The younger one's gone. You should have treated us better, Daddy. Now you have to pay. I'm not going to let Chris see you again. Not after what you did to him. And then we see in another flashback where he had taken the boys out, or one of the boys out. Comes back. This is when he comes to get the older boy, and he takes him out, and you can see that we can vaguely see there is a grave dug there, and he's got a hammer in his hand, a bloody hammer. Yes, he had bashed in the brains of his two kids just before he went and shot up the drug house. So that is justice. He's gonna get no pain. Then we start another story. This lovely young lady walks in. She's here to get her fortune told. This is the moon. And that tells you right there. It's werewolf. She's on a date. She leaves the bar with her date. Instead of he tries to get her to go to his place, she won't go. So they just go for a walk down by the bayou, and then they hear sounds. And here we know that this is Cajun country, and they have legends of werewolves, what they call rougarou, which is based on the French loup-garou. Yes, and they're confronted by a rougarou. Oh, well, he screams like a little girl and takes off, and she goes, Remy! And the rougarou takes out after Remy, bypassing the girl completely, and takes care of Remy. He is down for the count. Then he comes back to her and just bites her in the shoulder. He says, please let me live. And then the rougarou speaks to her. I will spare you if you promise one thing. You are cursed now, as am I. I will spare your life. But you swear never to speak of this night for 60 moons. So that's 5 years. I swear it. Says, if you do, we will both be cursed forever. But if you don't, it will break the curse for both of us. Oh, so there they are. There she is. The next morning, the bite has healed up. Someone comes to help. It's her friend from the bar, the bartender. She goes, Savannah. Her name is Savannah. And his name is Clive. And he helps her. And eventually, but she tells him nothing about him. Says a gator got him. Nothing happens. And she does some research. And she and Clive get together. They eventually get married. But she has started turning into a rookaroo at every full moon. The first time she goes out and she kills somebody, she swears never to kill anybody again. She chains herself up in the basement every month. They get married. They have a couple of kids. She becomes a best-selling author, but she says she can't tell Clive. And she says she goes to the basement to be undisturbed every month for a writing session. Then this is there are only 3 months left in that time that she has to wait, in the 5 years, and they're going on a vacation. It's just they're going to be there for 2 weeks, but they still have a couple of days left before she has to be back. But while they're out there, they're having a good old time. A big storm comes up, and they're trapped in the cabin. And finally, it's time for the full moon. They can't get off the cabin, so she winds up telling him, "You've got to go. You've got to lock you and the kids in the house." And he says, "Don't tell me. Whatever it is, don't tell me." And she tells him everything. And she says, "No." The moon is rising. Says, "No, I told you not to tell me." Then we find that because he was the Rougarou that attacked them, and she is by telling him she has condemned them both and their children forever. Oh my gosh! And that's the lovers. Ooh. Then we start our third one. A fellow walks in, and he wants love. The hermit, and we see his story. He's fallen for this gorgeous cam girl who strips and does other stuff online, and but he has developed a relationship in his head with that girl, and he texts her and stuff. Well, she's getting on. She's going to, her career is moving on. She won't be posting as much, and she's got a job on a show, and so she'll be doing that. And here we see behind the scenes, she's with her boyfriend, all lovey-dovey, and he says, "This guy, he keeps texting you." He said, "Yeah, it's just a creep. I won't have to deal with these guys much longer." So he delves it, gets his voodoo book, learns about this stuff. He gets what he needs and makes a doll. From a hairdresser, he gets some of her hair. Yada yada yada. Then he gets her on the FaceTime or a Zoom call. Gets her and shows her and forces her to do stuff for him while he's torturing her via the voodoo doll. Says no. But after a day or so, then he's going to have her. She's going to basically be his personal sex slave because of that, and says, "Now you've got to come and go, answer anytime I call." And so she does, and this time her boyfriend is there fixing some coffee, and he forces her to get poker, and she kills him. Blah. Bloody. Says, "Now get your stuff, and especially the outfits that you know I like, and you're going to come to me." So she does. She flies there, and flies to his place, gets her butt. See, we get this whole thing. Says, "I swear to God, he's going to pay. I swear to Ammon." What? She gets there and wants her to change into her stuff. She comes out completely differently. I said, "Nope." Says, and so I got the doll. And then she goes, "Ammon, my master, hear my call. I beg you, come forth." And poof, here is her master, and he is not very happy looking. So he calls on Baron Samedi of voodoo lore. And Baron Samedi shows up, and the two of them, they confront one another. Then they laugh, and they said, "Oh, it's another one of those deals." So what happens? And we see it's the fool. Yes, they exchange their acolytes for their respective punishments. Oh, ho, oh, ho, ho, ho. So the star, yes. Oh, and that is the end. Oh, yes, that was very good. I loved the writing. I loved the artwork. I loved the twist and the endings. They were very, very good. And it's a lot of fun, and I've taken a lot longer than I had intended for this. But I do want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do leave your comments out down below. Did you enjoy this tale of terror from Grimm Tales of Terror? Let me know what you thought. You ought to go out if you liked them. Get a chance. If you get a chance, I recommend getting some. I will get more of these when I get a chance. So thank you for joining me. And remember, comics are art.